for their electorate, not by their name. Cooley, member for New England.
Well, thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. Well, aren't we the Teletubbies of Australian federal politics with less than an hour to go? Go to bed, Lala. Go to bed, Poe. Get back down your holes. And that goes to show that an MPI brought on by Thursday by the Cosmo Kramer of Australian politics, the member for Whitlam, means that you're not very serious about this issue. An MPI brought on Thursday where many have already left, I'd say some are on the sauce, some are on the sleep, is Kwazulu that this is an absolute and utter afterthought. An MPI that is brought on Thursday afternoon, last thing before everybody goes to sleep, about a program that was on Sunday means that you're not really serious about this at all. It is it's called a ticker box MPI. Somebody better say something about this, otherwise they'll think we're up to our necks in something similar. That's what an MPI on Thursday means. I mean, look at it. Hardly anybody's here. They're all gone. They're left. They're in their black and white Comcars and they're out at the airport, or they're going home, going for a quick round of golf, booking in early to a restaurant. You're about as serious. You don't take this serious at all. And of course you wouldn't. I mean, this is the same crowd, the Australian Labor Party, that's made 10 referrals to the AFP on spurious grounds. That's basically where they are. And this is a concern. If we go back to the actual subject matter, these things can be used as a mechanism to exalt the bureaucracy over the rights of the parliament, over the rights of a minister. The reason we have a parliament is because the Australian people, for better or worse, put faith in their politicians and the representatives of executive governments, as noted by cabinet ministers, to do the job that they have been voted to do and appointed to do. And of course the people who love excessive ICACs and integrity commissions are bureaucrats who never want their decisions doubted, and minor parties who can use this as a mechanism of leverage to drive agendas that are at odds with the elected body. And we know the people who are going to be referred to this, they're going to be ministers. They're going to be ministers because they dare to differ from the bureaucracy. Therefore, they must be obviously corrupt. So don't create a rod for your own back. Don't create a rod for your own back. You will be the government. And I hear the interjections. I hear the interjections for the member for Fenner. Member for Fenner. That's correct, isn't it? Member for Fenner. Good stuff. Well, let's just go through a little list. What do these people have in common? Eddie Obeid, Mr McDonald, Mr Sumirak, Mr Tripodi, Mr Dastiari, Mr Theophanous, Craig Thompson, Milton Orkopoulos. And the one I'll finish with, then we go to a couple of union officials, John Setka. And then at the end of this, I'll finish with one, John Curtin. I'll finish with one, John Curtin. Now, I know that the member for Fenner, who's a good reader of history, will know why I mentioned John Curtin, won't you? Won't you? You'll know why. Because you're an intelligent fellow. Why would I mention John Curtin? Why would I mention John Curtin? You don't even know the history of your own party. And you don't know the history of your own party because John Curtin had a criminal conviction against him before he came to Parliament. John Curtin, you see, he refused to have the compulsory medical required for conscription. He was the first Prime Minister that came to Parliament with a criminal conviction. So what would you say? Would you remove John Curtin? Would you get rid of him? I put him down as one of the greatest Prime Ministers this nation had. So be careful what you create. And I would also say to the member for Fenner, you're not as smart as you look, mate. Go do some reading. So we would see this as basically a mechanism that would be a rod for our own back. You know, I do a bit of reading, and the socialists.
The member for New England will pause for a minute and withdraw that comment.
What's that? Which one?
The insult before the unparliamentary comment.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw with due deference the insult, and I apologise. I apologise deeply. The socialists, and I hope that's not the insult, the socialists on the 22nd of June said, and I quote, that they believe a quarter of the Victorian members are there by reason of branch stacking. Well, what an indictment. So you get a proper ICAC, do you know who they're going to get rid of? The whole of the Australian Labor Party.
I call